Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Nicole Bowdle and I'm a local real estate agent in Park City, Utah. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about going under contract but from being the perspective of a seller. So you are selling your home and now you're under contract. Now what's going to happen? So the first thing is that you've had all these showings, you've all these open houses, you've gotten some offers, you have decided that this is going to be the best offer for you. Maybe it is not a cash offer, maybe it is a loan offer. So I'm going to kind of walk you through the process of it. So generally there is going to be a due diligence period. So whatever was agreed to in the timeline of events, there is going to be a due diligence period. Generally, it shouldn't be any longer than 10 to 15 days in my experience. Sometimes it can go longer. It just depends on what you guys have agreed to. A cash and a quick close, right? And to sell your house for the most money possible. And that is the ultimate dream right there. But when we do have real life stepping in and we have contingent offers and contingencies, it is absolutely, if you were a buyer, I'm sure you would want to get the home inspected and appraised as well. So you're going to have the buyer due diligence period where they're going to bring in an inspector, and you're just basically waiting until that inspector has done their thing, and then you get a list from the buyer's agent on what they would like fixed. Hopefully there are no major issues on there and no surprises. If you got a pre-inspection, a pre-home inspection, which I always recommend, generally there won't be anything that'll knock you off your rocker because you'll already know about certain things. Major things that can blow up are radon, mold, structural issues, and the roof. Those are the four main things that are going to definitely deter a buyer and are going to be big red flags. So we want to make sure that all of those things are fixed, or you have a quote for how much it's going to cost. Be prepared, if there is radon in the home, you're going to need to get that mitigated. So next down the timeline is going to be the appraisal. So generally most people are going to get an appraisal. Cash buyers also might be getting an appraisal, so you're always not out of the woods there. So if your house was not priced by an appraiser, you just are hoping that it is worth as much as you are selling it for. And if you had a good agent, they've obviously guided you to price it correctly, and it's going to hopefully not be overpriced. Because if it is overpriced, the bank is not going to loan that buyer the amount that they want to purchase that house, and deals can crumble because of that. And you as the seller don't have to say, you don't have to lower your price, even if it was appraised lower, but just know that that deal will not go through because the buyer is not going to be able to get the financing they need to purchase the house for the amount that you want. Next is going to be settlement. And this is the day where you're going to go in and you are going to pay off, previous to that, the title company is going to be sending you things if your house is not paid off yet, documents to have your home paid off, the mortgage paid off, and then what you're actually going to be getting from selling your home, what you'll make off of it, and then the commissions that are being paid to the agents, and you'll sign all those paperwork. The buyer is going to sign their papers, and you might not be signing at the same title agency. It might be different title agencies, but everyone is working together. The agents are working together, the escrow offices are working together, and everyone's in communication with each other, as well as the lender needs to be working together. So that is a mouthful. There are a lot of moving parts here and a lot of things that can go wrong. So if a buyer is out of state or if a buyer is getting financing, we need to make sure that the lender is performing and going to be able to write the loan in time, and make sure that the buyers are getting all of their documents signed. Sometimes with FedExing documents back and forth, signatures can be missed, and then when the lender gets it, he realizes there's a missed signature, and then a settlement can be delayed. So you have to remember that settlement and closing are different. Settlement is where everybody signs their papers, and if everybody's ducks are in a row, you could ultimately close that same day. But if there are little hangups, that could delay a closing a day or two. Depending on what day of the week it is. If it's a Friday, sometimes you might not close till Monday. So those are things to keep in mind. Now, when do you need to be out of your house by? This is a big deal too, because you as a seller are a little worried about this, right? My buyers have two options in the contract where they can pull out, and it is absolutely their right to be able to pull out at any time during these two time periods. So you just have to trust the process. But as a seller, I know that that can be a little nerve-wracking, that you could have a buyer cancel before due diligence, and you could also have them cancel because of the financing deadline. So nothing is closed until it's closed, and that is how I like to say it. Like, nothing is done until it's done, till the deed has been recorded, change of ownership has taken place, and everyone has been paid. Now we can go our separate ways. That is closing, and that is recording. So in the offer that you have accepted as the seller, there will be a section called possession, and that is when the buyer is going to take possession of the home. So we need to be really mindful and make sure that we are looking over that. If you think that, if you're really, really wanting to sell, you're probably going to be starting to pack up your house along this process. Sometimes buyers want possession upon recording, which can seem really, really quick. If you're a buyer and if you're a seller, you're like, wait a minute, I need time to get out of my house. So generally, sometimes if you're a primary resident, giving, a couple days for you to move and pack up is ultimately, the friendliest way to get possession of the home. You just have to keep in mind that the longer that you stay in the house, the more that could go wrong, the more damage that could go wrong. If you're moving something and something gets damaged while you're moving out, then you would actually be responsible for that damage, and the buyer would be a little angry at you. So just keep in mind that the longer that you stay in the home, that's more of a red flag for a buyer, because more can go wrong. So just trusting the process and hoping that things are going to work out. Everything's going to work out in harmony. You have good agents. Everyone's communicating. Everything's going to run smoothly. Then you guys won't have to pack up and be out of an empty house and then realizing that, oh, the financing didn't go through. Now the buyers are canceling and we have an empty house. So there have been situations where it can go really bad. So everything just needs to work in harmony. I hope that this video was helpful for you, and please like and subscribe to my